Welcome to The Impossible, where we empower others to face the impossible, inspire them to be impossible, and motivate them to do the impossible. I'm Matt, and we're back this week with my brother, Austin Douglas. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. Hello, everyone.
Good. Guys, we have a really exciting guest on today. It's not too often that you get to encounter somebody who radically shifts your idea of what an athlete can be and at what level they can perform. And we were fortunate to get to partake and compete in the USPC first ever Para/Adaptive Nationals powerlifting competition this past summer. And there were so many incredible, what we would call impossible athletes at this event. But I will never forget the moment that we were warming up in the squat room and we saw this man lift 385 pounds as a warm-up lift. And he did it with such explosive power and so much speed. The bar jumps off of his shoulder, lands perfectly balanced back on his shoulder, and he throws it in the rack like it was just any old warm-up. And I think that was the moment that the atmosphere in the room shifted for everybody, because we knew this particular athlete was here to not just find his own highest potential, but to set an entirely new standard of not just what even an adaptive athlete can be, but what athletes in general can chase and aspire to achieve with continuous effort, an unruly faith in your own potential, and a devotion to training and a devotion to strength that transcends anything we would think is possible. So with that, we are very excited to bring on today Mr. James Spurgin as he trains to become the America's strongest disabled man coming this weekend.
For the eighth time.
In a row.
In a row.
So you've done this. This is your 8th year doing this then?
No, I've been doing this since, I've been competing at America since 16 or 17. I think it was 17 actually.
Okay.
Was my first. Mm-hmm. When I started though, they didn't have they hadn't had any upper extremity guys, mm-hmm. so there was no category for me. Mm-hmm. So I had to compete with everybody else in the standing class.
Oh,
and
shoot.
I think I got third maybe or something like that, maybe fourth, third. I think third. I was a little boy back then though. I think I was only about like.
But you were competing
pounds.
Against people with like both usable arms then. Correct?
Yeah, I mean the standing class is generally below the knee amputees.
Okay.
Of various grades, mm-hmm. and generally they have, I would say, they're lower leg amputee,
mm-hmm.
lower,
like what I am.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where it is on, I guess.
Well,
but yeah, below the knee, you still have the knee hinge.
About halfway. Yeah, I got
right.
the knee hinge.
Yeah. There were some guys though that had even lower than that,
okay.
and it seemed like they had a lot more function.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to move a little bit. There's a guy named Chad Macklin, I think his name is.
Okay.
He competed back in those days. He's like 6'7" or something like that. Some giant, Iron Giant, I think his name is. Yeah, on Instagram. But yeah, he had a below the knee amputee, and he just wiped the floor with everybody back then. But yeah, so I didn't. I did. I placed on the podium, I think, but I never really. Because of the way it was kind of set up, I never really won anything until my category was mm-hmm. kind of created, and I think it was because I decided to show up and do it, and they were like, "Oh, well, I guess we have to have another category." I mean, the big thing for me is is transitions in anything hand oriented. Mm-hmm. Just takes a long time to get the straps sorted out, to lift bags off the floor, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And even back then, I didn't have any of that, so it was all like, rolling it onto the lap, shifting it onto one leg, getting one leg up onto like a lunge, and then shifting it over, then standing, and then getting it set. So it was a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be the 8th title that I'll be going after in the standing two class.
Okay. Which
would be upper extremity.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my whole thing has been I really, I actually competed in an able-bodied comp once, and I mm-hmm. got I think I got second or third or something like that, maybe third.
Isn't that fun when you're
Yeah.
this adaptive
I
athlete?
think there were like 8 athletes too. It was pretty cool. I think I got second place in the dumbbell
Nice.
of able-bodied. I was like, this is crazy, you know. Like, and you know, I was doing one arm cleans, and everybody else is cleaning.
Yeah.
And I just but
Well, I think that's some of the most fun you can have, because especially before the para division was created with USPC, like I just did not care. Like, and it's still not something that like drives me that hard. I would just step right into open, and I just like it was no difference in the world. And I think that's when it like has some of the biggest impact on yourself and the people around you as well.
I would completely agree, because actually my intro into competition was powerlifting. My first powerlifting competition was in 2012.
Okay. So
I competed in powerlifting until 2017.
Okay.
Or 16, one of those years, whatever it was. And so there was no adaptive anything in strength sports really that I was aware of, you know, at that time. So, and it didn't matter. I was like, whatever, I'll just do the open or whatever weight class I'm in. And, you know, though at those times I didn't have the strap either. So I was deadlifting with a hook grip in the center of the bar.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, one of my fonder memories of powerlifting was, in 2012 was like, I think it was my first powerlifting competition. I think Powerhouse. Can't remember exactly where, maybe Kentucky or something like that. It's a more famous gym. I was training at a place called the Doghouse in in
some of our guys just had a comp up there.
Yeah. Dave Hoff is there.
Dave Hoff, yeah.
But when I was there, it was oh God, what's his name? It's escaping me. I'll come back to it. But anyway, I was training there, and we went down to this competition. I was training in gear too, like, so I was wearing the briefs, the squat suit, knee wraps, and all that stuff.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. And there had been another able-bodied guy there. I think he weighed about 240-ish pounds at the time. And there was another, power lifter that was at the same comp, and we were racing to a 700-pound squat.
There you go.
Right? Like, me and him were both. And I remember we had these two totally sort of different approaches to training. I had been being coached by a guy named John Brown, who was, I think, a little bit more influenced by the big iron style of powerlifting, which is more like repetitions and
like
stuff.
Like progressive overload and kind of...
I don't know about that, because we didn't do much chains, bands, stuff like that. It was more...
so no conjugate.
No, it wasn't conjugate, right? So it was sort of different. And the other guy that was competing too was more conjugate, right?
Okay.
And I'm not throwing shade on anybody's training style, but I noticed when I got under the bar and I started competing, he was just crazy shaky, right? Like he was all over the place, shaky with the bar, like, you know, like he was missing the bands.
Yeah.
And I was way smoother and all of that stuff just from being under the pressure of the bar in gear the whole time, rather than, you know, using the bands for that progressive overloading stuff, which we did too, some of it, but I think I opened with, I don't remember, 600 or 650 or something like that.
There you go.
600, I think. The second attempt was 650, and then my buddy John looks at me. He's like, "You want to go for it?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to go for it." And the coolest thing, the whole long story short, Louis Simmons was there.
Are you serious?
And he was judging depth.
Oh, God.
And I got under that thing with one arm.
Yeah.
Lifted up to 700, came down, got the call up, got whites.
And
whites.
You sink it, too. When
well, I don't know about then.
You do now, at least.
Well, that was, you know, it's hard to sink it in gear.
That's true.
I get back up, hit the thing, and so I didn't know about this, like nobody said this, but apparently Louis looked over to John and said, "That's one of the most impressive things I've seen in a long time." And apparently he doesn't give out.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't give out, you know, so I didn't find this out till years later. That he had said something, and I was just like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So
is this your first competition?
That would have been my first comp, I think, in 2012. It's as far as I can remember. I'm pretty sure that was my first comp.
Dang. And you're squatting 700.
Yeah, but in gear.
In gear, but still. Because, I mean, it takes so much time and training and practice and repetitions just to be able to build up the CNS capacity to hold that kind of weight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not dedicated, you're not doing it for sure.
Yeah.
We were having 2-3 hour squat sessions just to do squats.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to preparing for a meet, right? Because you had to do, your raw warm ups, your brief warm ups, your suit, straps down warm ups, your straps up and knee wraps, or your straps down and knee wraps, your straps up and knee wraps.
It takes forever.
And if you don't have a team, if you don't have a crew, like any of that stuff, it ain't happening.
It gets very dangerous very quick. That's what happened for me. Like this last prep leading up to that 500-pound squat was, I mean, I was even raw, and like every single squat session was taking 2 or 3 hours just to do like my working sets plus my accessories because of all of the setup it would take, like the way I have to warm up on my prosthetic, and then like the jumps, and then making sure all the people were there in case something breaks on me and go south a little too quickly. But yeah, it's crazy the amount of time and devotion you have to have. So what I guess got you into that world of strength sports and led you to that first competition?
Well, I moved to Columbus in 2009.
Okay.
And so I got injured in 2005, and I was still, I don't know. I mean, everything was hand oriented for me at that point. I was in the Marine Corps. I was a mechanic. I was looking at maybe becoming a firefighter. I was practicing Muay Thai and doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Everything hands. Like I like to build stuff. I mean, I grew up splitting wood. I don't know. I got a 17th century tomahawk when I was a kid. Sharpened it, learned how to throw it. That kind of crap, right?
Yeah.
And so when I got hurt and I couldn't use both hands anymore, it was a little, what do you say, devastating. No, it wasn't. It just, you don't really know what to do, right? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. What do you do with one hand?
Yeah.
Like,
and there's not this string of people that can just
back in 2005 there wasn't any social media either, so there was no support, no nothing, right? And then at one point in time, my parents and I went to the state of California's like disability office or whatever, and I got denied.
Really?
Yeah, I could lift 10 pounds over my head. That's what they said. I was like, this is okay. Let me hold a jar and open the top.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Can you butter toast? Anyway, I'm not. It sounds like I'm sour, but
yeah.
But anyways, but
that
it
was
didn't
like
make any
the
sense.
one.
Yeah,
one
that's what I recall anyway.
Yeah.
Them saying I could lift 10 pounds over my head, so I wasn't disabled. Now I'm really screwed, because I got a 200-pound dumbbell record.
That's the whole reason you got into this.
Yeah, I was mad about it.
I'll show you how much I
fine.
can lift over my
Fine,
head.
I'll lift 200.
Yeah.
They started it. Those bastards. So, but yeah, I don't even know where I was at now. What was I talking about? Why I started. Yeah. Right. I have ADD, if you didn't know.
Yeah, it's all good. So we jump around.
Look
all
at the
time.
cameras. No? Okay.
We're gonna hold off on that.
All right, okay. Anyway, so I moved here. I started trying to train again. I had been trying to when I was still in California, I was kind of trying to scrape by, still doing Muay Thai with my arm kind of strapped to my body and stuff. And it was tough because I was a shell of what I was. I don't know. I don't know who said it, but one of the famous quotes that I carry around with me is, comparison is the thief of joy, right? So I was constantly comparing myself to what I was in Muay Thai and all that, and I just, it was just eating at me. So it kind of fizzled out, and then when I moved to Columbus, I needed to do something. I liked exercise, so I got back into the gym, and I just started trying to figure stuff out, It was one little step after the other. Like, can I bench one-handed? How do I do it? Can I use a bar? Can I, how do I work out?
Yeah.
I didn't have much experience really with the gym or anything like that. Then you just kind of broed it when I was in the Marine Corps. Just you look at the biggest dude in the room, you're like, oh, I'll do what he's doing,
Just like grip and rip everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Funny enough, my best deadlift when I was two-handed was 400 pounds.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
now you do a little.
I
bit
actually
more
got 457 one-handed deadlift at a powerlifting meet up in. I think I got red lighted for it, but if you look at it, it's pretty good. So I don't know why they red lighted me, but at Relentless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a center of the bar hook grip 450. Anyway. Back in the day. So I got into the gym. I started training at a place that was kind of down the street from my house. And one day I come in and there's these two dudes. I think it was the gym owner and his friend, and they're squatting with bands on the bar. And I turned to the guy I was friends with at the time, training with, and I was like, "What are they doing?" And he goes, "Oh, they're powerlifting. You don't want to do that. You'll get hurt." I was like, I'm already hurt. Let's add to it. No. Well, so the friend I was training with was a bodybuilder guy. So he was like, that's the
because nobody's ever got hurt bodybuilding.
That's
before.
dangerous.
Never.
Yeah.
No, you
Not
don't
even
mess
once.
anything up with that. Nothing. Not your hormones. Your gut. I hear all kinds of good stuff about that.
Yeah.
Don't you die if you dehydrate? Anyways, no. Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, you don't want to do that. You'll get hurt." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Okay, you're soft. I want to do it though." I like doing all that kind of like extreme stuff, really. Mm-hmm. So anyway, started like kind of probably being annoying, but like just asking questions of these guys. I was like, "Hey, what is And they were like, "Oh, well, we go down to this place called the Doghouse." So I'm a little follower at the time. I was like, "I want to go there." So I end up going there, and that's where I meet John Brown, and he really kind of helped. I mean, he's a huge influence in my life, and we're not as much in touch anymore, but he really helped mold kind of my attitude toward training and all of that stuff back. Like he was like, do the hard work, and he was the only person that really kind of just grabbed me, and I followed along. And he, like I said, he was more open to all the styles of training rather than like just the dogma of like the West Side method or whatever, And that was something that we were all kind of like. The pressure of the West Side method was just everywhere. It's like, you got to do it this way.
I'm sure, especially in Columbus.
Sure, and it works for some people. Sure, I didn't think I was developed enough yet physically to do that method, right? Like I wasn't big enough. And so, just did the accumulation method really, which is more like, I guess, the big iron method, you're just doing reps and stuff.
Yeah.
And, and then it just kept compounding. I just kept doing it and showing up. And
that took you to that competition where you squat. What was
crazy, right? Like it's just madness. And I when I walked into the Doghouse, I was probably 195 pounds.
Jeez.
From what I understand, they all thought I was an undercover cop there to bust them for anabolics or something. And I'm like, I can't even use both arms. Like, what am I going to do? Right. How am I going to arrest you? Like I'm some sort of informant or something. I'm like, what in the world? But I get it. There's always suspicion about new people and stuff like that, especially in that, that world. There was a lot of other things that went on too, But, so... It was really quick, and then I just there was obviously the equipment use for me was influenced by that place, right? Like getting in the squat suit and the briefs and everything like that. I wish I would have found the I don't know, the inspiration, the idea, the whatever came through Logan Aldridge to make that strap, back in that day, because I would be in a different place now, I think. I would be less injured too. So I trained a long time with just the one arm, right? And that puts all kinds of cross torque on your body. You shift everything. You never really finish a lockout on a deadlift either. When you do it one-handed, it's like soft.
I could see
so you
that.
never like really engage your hip.
Shoulder.
And it's really the twist in the midsection. So it puts, you get this uneven set on your hips, and then it makes all kinds of pressure on your spine in your lower back because you're compressed on one side and extended on the other. Anyway, so it wasn't great, and it kind of made things more difficult down the line. And I've only had the strap now for a few years, like 3 or 4 years or something like that. So I've only really been training for that period of time. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And, so
what was it like that moment? You do your first competition, you squat 700, Louis Simmons is there judging you. And even though you don't know what he says, was there a moment where it was just like this is it? Like, I've got to pursue this at the highest level.
I don't think I ever had that because of the shock of all of the impact of everybody else that was there. I was still far behind everybody else, right? I'm only squatting 700 pounds. Like, there's dudes that are there that are squatting, 1,000.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Saying so, like, it felt like accomplishment, but it also didn't. I don't know if that makes much sense.
I get what you're saying.
I don't think I was. I think I felt like I was mid-tier. Like I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I think I felt the same way when I first started competing, especially at Monsters, and it was like I squatted 300 for the first time in 2023 at that August competition. Then
it felt like an accomplishment, I'm sure, but it wasn't like.
Yeah. It was like cool. I was really stoked about it. First time I'd squatted 300, but it's like there's guys at the same competition squatting 6, 7, getting ready close to touching 8s,
right?
And I'm like, oh shoot, like, but I think that's good because it shows you that like this is how far I can go. It's like this is just for me. You know what it felt like for me? A stepping stone. That's what it was. It was just a step in my, I want the max, and I didn't think I was there yet. Yeah, and that's what's cool about those moments when like that veil gets lifted on your own potential, and you're like, man, I just did this. What else can I do? Like the first moment I really experienced that was after running my first half marathon. This would have been 2017, right at the end of 2017. And it wasn't the moment that like radically changed my life forever. Like all of a sudden I was a different person, but it was the moment that got me on a different path, a much more productive, better path in life. And I think anytime we can find situations, whether it's through competition or business or even like a creative discipline, something that really pushes you to some of the extremes of your current limitations, like it, and you get your eyes open to that potential, like that's a pretty powerful place to be. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Everything has been, so I would say that one of the things about strength sports is it takes so long, right? It takes so long. It takes a decade, 2 decades, right? It takes a long time of consistent work, week in, week out, right? Like you not missing big chunks of time to get to closer to your max potential or whatever. And when you get there, you're like, oh, I'm here, right? Like it's taken so long. It's just like that's just your next new normal, right? Like I've never really felt like I've never really been shocked about where I'm at. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, it's because you put the work in. You've got the discipline around training,
and it's a slow burn, like, right? Yeah, so it's like you don't see yourself getting bigger physically. You just because you look at yourself every day, right? Like you just eventually you're like, oh, I'm 325 pounds now. What the hell happened? So yeah. I mean, eventually it will. I'm sure it will sink in. But and like I was telling you earlier in the day, it's like I always felt like I had to earn everything, and I never really felt like it was heavy enough that I had earned it yet.
Yeah.
It's
crazy how that size can just contribute like so much to strength sports. Like I'd gotten right up to 300 for that 500-pound squat, and I was at a point where that was like not healthy for me, like not a healthy weight at all. And I've cut now down 30 pounds since that competition. Just that 10% has made like so much of a world of difference. Like I couldn't have done what we just did in the gym today, those carries and stuff. No way I could have done that on August 23rd. But it helped me in that moment a lot for having just the momentum and force of drive for that squat. So
you had you were specific to what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
That's another reason why I really like strongman, is because you really got to be versatile. You
Yeah.
know, like you got to be able to do kind of everything. I feel like, however many of these things are actually healthy, I don't know, but like strongman seems to be a little bit more in that. I mean, I don't know. Some of these guys are massive and probably got too much weight too, including myself. But, you know, just doing the endurance training too really is something that, you know, I was, when I was powerlifting, I wasn't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing any cardio, which is stupid now that I look back. I'm like, man, that adds so much, because it adds recovery, right? Like, I'm doing cardio, I'm going to lose muscle. No, you're not, you moron. You're going to recover because your heart rate's up. You're getting blood to everything. Like So, you know, you don't know what you don't know when you don't know it, you know?
Yeah.
You realize that down the road.
Oh, you know? Yeah. Yeah, some of the best competitions I ever had, as far as how I felt throughout the competition, was when I was marathon training back in 2023. Mm-hmm. You know, at that point I was so deep into and build up such a cardio base that, like, I could go all day through. Like, we got to third deadlifts, and I'm like, I'm still got tons of energy ready to go. But
that's how I felt at the meet. I was like, I never.
Yeah,
was
you
never
did
tired.
not. You did not tire out at all. Yeah, yeah. It was really awesome watching you compete, and it was like every single lift you set a completely new standard for what most people there thought was even remotely possible. Because it's one thing if you've never lifted before. If somebody's never lifted before and they see you squat, I think they recognize that, like, oh, that's crazy impressive. But if you're somebody who's actually been under like max effort level weights with like a squat bar loaded up to that weight on your back, and you know what it takes to like pull that bar in, to like lock your back into it, to get your lats engaged, your upper back, your like every little thing to keep it stable against you, and then to move through the squat and bring it up, like, you know how insanely impossibly difficult that is. And then you just like let it rest on your shoulder, and it just balances. You have some of the
I use my arm to balance it, but
but you have some of the most perfect bar path that I've ever seen, and you're not able to lock in. You're not able to stay super tight necessarily in your back like most people would. Think.
Yeah, it's all belly.
Yeah, and so you've used your core, learned to adapt and use your core to brace, and it's just phenomenal to watch, you know. And then you go and turn right around from that to do a 200-pound one-arm bench press with like. And it's not like you can use a prosthetic to tie in or anything like that. It's literally just
hold on to anything.
One arm, center of the bar, and then same
with
thing
a pause too.
That
makes a difference.
Sure does. Yeah, and so then it ends up being like a close grip. What were we talking about? Like a close grip?
Yeah, it's a close grip bench. Basically, it'd be like if you were doing bench with two arms with close grip. It's the same path. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it takes a lot of the pec out of it. It drives it in the tricep and the front delt. In a lot of ways, you say, you lose leg drive, you lose a lot of the back stability. So it's crazy to think like you can still pull through that and make that happen. And then you go into deadlift and you're using that strap you were talking about, but you pulled, what was it, 617 was your heaviest pull?
Yeah, 280.
Yeah. So you come and pull 617, which is the heaviest deadlift of the comp, and you had the heaviest squat of the comp out of all the adaptive and able-bodied.
My opener squat was actually the heaviest squat of
Probably.
I'm pretty sure.
Would you squat open, like 580 or something?
No, 550. I think
550.
I think somebody else tried to squat that, but didn't hit it. It might not have been, but yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, and that's like.
It was funny though. As I walk in and I forget the guy's name, but I was telling him the numbers. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to open with 250." He's like, "That's that's kilos, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, what does that mean?"
No, what's a kilo?
Yeah, what's a kilo?
Kilogram.
Yeah, I don't think he really expected. He was like, "Huh? What?" Like that's nuts.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the big thing about the deadlift too is the rules, right? Mm-hmm. Like in strongman, there aren't the same rules. I can ramp, I can hitch, I can do all that stuff, right? And so when I get closer to my max in anything, there's a lot of strange things that happen because I don't have all of the moving parts to maintain form and everything. So, and like I said, with the back and the twisting and the hip thing, I am still to this day learning how to use my damn glutes and my hamstrings to deadlift. Like I had always just been quads, like get it over and then hinge back and drive with my feet. So that was also difficult at the meet too, to try to get a max weight with, under the rules. So, and then, you get straps too. So I also tore the shit out of my hand on that second attempt as well. So, But
yeah, because there is a lot of, and we talked about this earlier, but there's a lot of overlap between the two sports, but there are some things that are uniquely different to each. And you bring up the like versatility and just athleticism and conditioning you have to have with strongman, even, especially with the huge strength component as well. Like you're reading some of the numbers to me of the events you've got this weekend. And I'm like, I don't think I could even, like the starting numbers. I'm like, I don't even think I could start at that for a lot of those movements. And so it shows you like what kind of level you can take this to.
Yeah, I mean, it was it really makes powerlifting easier. No shade, bro.
Little shade thrown there. So what drew you from power? Like you started powerlifting. What drew you to strongman?
I got a story first, though.
Yeah.
So back to the powerlifting meet. I posted the event to my Instagram, and like I started getting comments and stuff. And this one guy posts, he goes, I didn't realize your squat was one-handed until I saw the bench, and then I had to rewind it to find out that your squat was one-handed, and I was like, holy shit, that's way more impressive. That's the comment. And I was like, oh, okay. So people didn't even notice that I was squatting one-handed initially on the video. That's how, like, I actually I think that's it's more of a compliment, really, because people don't see it as much as I see it myself, it's like, or feel it or whatever, like it blows my mind sometimes. And I'm not an amputee, so it's not as visual. It's not as visually harsh,
Yeah.
Even though it's still, I've got one big arm, one little arm. So,
Yeah. I think though it's like, so I'm a big fan of the belief that people treat you how you allow them to, and that's a lot of that's done by like the standard you set for how you treat yourself, essentially. So I've never really had an issue, especially since I've been involved with training in the gym and everything like that, with people like treating me any differently, because I don't treat myself any differently around them. From like day one at Monsters, when I started training with the powerlifting crew, like I was under the bar doing the same amount of intensity that I could manage. The weights were a lot lower, especially in the beginning, but I tried to tell myself, I'm like, I'm going to bring an even higher intensity to make up for.
You were a undercover cop.
Yeah, they probably did.
You're a CI.
Yeah,
who will outrun them all.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. But I think that you do a lot of the same thing. Like, there's nobody
you don't
that's
treat yourself as disabled. People don't treat you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
You set the standard of how people treat you. And I think that's powerful when you walk into any new environment, especially in this world of strength and training.
And, it's also extremely hard to ask for help. So,
yeah.
I guess that's kind of
I feel
there is a little bit of a double-edged sword there, because it is nice to have some assistance sometimes, like I remember one time I was eating dinner at this fancy place, and my girlfriend at the time took my plate and was cutting my steak. And the table next to us, this, middle-aged woman leans over and says to her husband, "Look at this asshole making her cut his steak." And I was like, what you don't know. Like that's perception right there. Like people don't know. You don't know the context, right? Like, why is she doing this? That wasn't the question, though. It was like, I'm the piece of shit, though, for her cutting my food.
A 5-second observation would have.
No, they couldn't tell.
That.
They couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Wow.
They couldn't see past their own noses, so. Yeah, no, they didn't care to look at the context or anything. They just made an assumption, and an opinion was created from that. So,
are those moments are those difficult to get through?
No, not at all. Because I know I actually feel sorry for those people, because they have no context to their life. They don't know anything. You know nothing. You've had no hard. Well, that's rude to say. Who knows what kind of hardships they had? They probably did. But everybody's hardship is their hardest hardship, I guess, is however you want to say it, right? That sounded stupid, but everybody's worst day is their worst day, and if you compare, you can't compare. Like everybody has their own max 10 level pain, right? We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Some people it's a paper cut.
Yeah.
Other people it's other things.
Yeah, and that's I think you're so right there, because But
I
felt
sorry for them, really.
Oh yeah.
They just didn't have the experience in life or whatever to like have some empathy for people rather than go straight to the negative side of things, you know?
Well, they just took the wrong turn, like whatever hardship that they may have went through.
Sure.
They took the wrong turn.
Yeah.
And how to treat life afterwards.
They're sour.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for those people that are sour because I'm not.
Yeah.
I have chronic pain. I'm not unhappy. I love my life.
Yeah. And that's what I'd say that all the time is like these people who, because we all know them, we see them, you know, day to day, whether it's at work or in public or whatever, these kind of people. And I think I think the human mind, psyche, and spirit is like really designed for struggle, for challenge, for all of these things, for you know, for overcoming pain, you know, because the greatest rewards we get in life is when we overcome those things. And so if you've not faced, like you said, all pain and challenge is relative, but I do think there's a certain threshold where if you've not faced that threshold, or if you've not met that threshold, whatever that is for you, some people literally create their own misery and then project that onto other people because they can't even face their own misery that they created for themselves.
Politics.
Oh,
is that too soon?
Misery.
Is that too soon? I'm looking at you over there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I love that you have that perspective of it, though. Is like, I just feel sorry for those people because
it's not even that. I mean, because I don't carry that sorrow either for them. It's just I'm like, you know, it's just too bad, right?
Yeah,
like
that sucks.
I mean, you guys.
It's like, how miserable does your life have to be?
It's sad that it takes. What's sad is it takes something drastic to change your mindset. You know. And I still went through that even after I got hurt, right? So go back to what got me into strongman, right? So the way things work out are so weird too. It's like, so it's like 2000 and what year is it? 2016, 15 or 16, right? And social media is now on the table. You got the smartphones and all that. Facebook is now around and going, and so I'm on there and I'm looking around and I see World's Strongest Disabled Man, right? I see, there's a strongman competition for disabled people. Absolutely. And the first thing I see is I think it's a blind competitor doing Atlas stones with two hands. I'm like, oh fuck, well I can't do that. That was my first thought. I can't do that. I hadn't learned anything yet, you know, I guess.
and you'd even been powerlifting at this point, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
For many years. Yeah.
Well, you would think I would know, you know.
Yeah. I can squat 700 with one arm, but I can't do it. There's just no way.
So I'm like, I can't do that. Yeah. Funny enough, fast forward to 21, 22 was my first Atlas Stone world record.
Oh, nice.
There we go. At 402 pounds, whatever, 192 kilos.
400-pound stone?
Yeah. The thing I said I couldn't do, and this was to a shorter platform too. So this was like I think it was like a 42 inch. So the standard height is 48. And then for heavyweights, it's like 52, right? So we kind of, for adaptive strongman, we generally get we get a little bit of, you know.
Yeah, little leeway.
Little leeway. Yeah. So then the next year, or in 23, I go down to the Magnus for Magnuson World Championship, right, in Florida, and I set another world record with a 410-pound stone, but this time I loaded it to fucking 48 inches.
Which is like competition
way
standard.
Up there. Yeah, it's standard height for able bodies. That's the thing. These are the things that kind of stick with me. It's like the first thing I thought though in 2015 was I can't do that.
Yep.
Fast forward, now I have the world record.
Well, it's a perfect example. We talk about this all the time, like. And that's why our shirts that day of the meet said limitations do not exist, because that's what we want our default mindset to be. Like yes, you need to get out of your own way. Yeah, exactly. Your brain is going to limit you so much more quickly than than where your true limitation lies. And so we would rather treat it as if they just don't exist at all, because if we come at it with that default mental approach, we'll make sure that we're never limiting ourselves before we truly find that potential. And I think that's an absolute perfect example of that, because even somebody who's been like a strength athlete and competed for many years, you know, and I do the same things. I've done the same things. Like, it's just so easy to, you know, when I squatted 300, I thought that's probably as much as I'm going to squat. And then I squat 400 last year in August, and I hit 425 that competition, and I was like, I just can't imagine ever squatting more than that. You know, and it's like, but you just go down this path.
Technically, you squatted 500 twice.
I did.
Because the first time you squatted it, but didn't finish the rep.
Yeah. I
so
came down almost to
you
death.
put that pressure on yourself twice.
Yeah, this past.
So the second time is even getting it for coming back. Okay, so this is a huge deal for you, right? Mm-hmm. Squat this 500 pounds, right? And failing it on your second attempt had to be mentally crushing, right? Like, it just, you're like, oh, now you have all these doubts. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not, like, they're still twirling around back mm-hmm. there in your gray matter. You're like, oh, okay, well, I just can't stabilize this. I'm never going to get it. Then you say, fuck that. Get mm-hmm. under it again. Put all that pressure on you. Go down and come back up with it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think people have that kind of context. They don't have that context to what happened at that meet.
Yeah.
You know, they see that one post of the 500 squat, but they don't know that you fought through it for your second attempt either. They don't know that. Yeah. They don't know what happened there. They don't, you weren't involved in any of that. So
especially falling forward like that.
That's crazy. Just, yeah. Like, I mean, I was like, I saw that happen. I was like, God damn it. I know that, you know, I'm like, so that was, and all of the stuff that was happening there, watching all of those people, like meeting Chandler for the first time and like hanging out with him. He's such a cool dude.
Yeah.
What's the lady's name?
Arlen,
right.
She's a beast.
What a sweetheart too.
Oh my
God. Such a nice lady.
And her fire and fight. And
she was so nice. And you know, it was funny because I don't hear well when there's a ton of noise, mm-hmm. and I'm really trying to hear what she's having to say mm-hmm. and talk to me. And it was a struggle, and I'm trying to connect and communicate, but. You know, watching her, all of that stuff was all motivating to me, you know, more than anything else. So
it's really cool to see. And it was just like the perfect day. Like, we had such a phenomenal group of athletes. Like, for the first time we've done this event, I was just so happy and thankful to have been able to be a part of it. And we got big dreams to keep growing it more and more in the future. 'Cause like we were talking about earlier, like, we want to use this to show, not to just like showcase it. And like you said earlier, this hit me so powerfully when you said this. You didn't want to be like a circus act when you first came to the strength world of like, oh, this is really cool that this guy can do it, but look how like it's not weird and different it is.
Yeah, and it's like, not that it doesn't look too heavy. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
It's just impressive because he's only got one arm.
My thing has been to take it beyond that to the point where it's like, oh yeah. Most people can't do this at all. Mm-hmm. You know, I heard a statistic one time that there's only like 6,000 men on the planet that can deadlift 600 pounds or more.
Oh, I bet it's less than that.
600 or 6,000, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many adaptive athletes standing can deadlift 600 pounds? Yeah. There's like 5 of us.
Yeah.
On the planet.
Yeah.
What's that percentage?
Yeah.
So it's those things small. that hit me more deeply than like, say, oh, I just got a 600 pound deadlift or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's those kind of crazy things that like
you want it to be impressive per humanity's standards,
sure.
not just like
right.
Per
I've always been
standards.
like that. It's like it felt just like a participation sort of thing initially because I didn't feel like I hadn't put a decade in yet.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm getting attention because nobody else does it this way at that point in time, right? But I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, right? I am not special, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not a special person. I have the same physiology as everybody else. I am just extremely stubborn and refuse to quit, okay? And so that creates dedication and consistency, right? Like you just refuse to give in. So That's also why I get hurt when I'm hurt. Oh, let's just add on. We need a little bit more injury.
Might as well have one.
Just,
You
let's keep going.
You got to balance out both sides.
Right.
I mean, you
Both
can't just have one side injured.
Yeah. But so my first intro to strongman was Facebook.
Okay.
World's Strongest Disabled Man. It was run by Magnus from Magnuson and a guy named Arnar something or another.
And that's still going on, isn't it?
No,
is it not?
That is defunct because those two split, and one of them holds the rights, and it's just not a.
When was the last one? It wasn't too long ago, was it?
Well, so Magnus does the thing now, and it's the Magnus World Championship or whatever. I still call it World. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Who's arguing what? It's about the athletes. I don't care if you have a stick up your ass. I mean, this is going like I don't care. You need to get over yourself and give the World's Strongest Man title back to the athletes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You listening?
Yeah.
So anyway, because I think we should have that.
I agree. Well,
and now it's some bastardized thing because somebody won't give over the rights or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about the promoter or the owner or the whatever, right?
Yeah.
Especially in disabled sports, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I didn't realize that whole split had happened and everything because I remember seeing the advertisements for it every year, and I remember even thinking like, man, how cool would it be to go do that? And
Magnus
someday?
Has been, he's been magnificent the whole time, right? Magnus for Magnuson is he has made it about us the whole time, right? Like trying to make opportunities for it. I mean, he's as selfless as an athlete like that gets. Like,
well, he just loves the sport.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and he's really there for us. So that's always made a. I do whatever event he had, I do it for. Regardless of what shape I was in. But yeah, I mean, I when I first got to World's Strongest Disabled Man, there was just this weird stigma about who was in charge and who owned it and why it was happening and all this stuff, and I hated it. So
you get the politics into it. It makes it really tough. That's why we're really
make it about the athletes.
Yeah, that's what we're really trying to do with the Para Adaptive Nationals.
And I felt that the whole time. It was like not to cut.
No, you're good.
Good job, but like. I don't normally like that shit because it always feels like some sort of gimmick, and it wasn't that. So hats off to you guys for that. That was great.
Well, I think it's just like the atmosphere that everybody, and especially the athletes, came together to create, because nobody was there just to feel special. Like we were there to like.
I felt special.
I mean, but that wasn't your like primary drive and motivator.
What was really great of you guys is to include. It was nice to have able-bodied mixed in.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to have everybody mixed in, have it quick flights. It was
well, and everybody like in attendance was like, they didn't just think like, oh, this is so nice for them. Like this is so special and cool. Like people,
we had to work for it.
People were legitimately blown away. Like I cannot tell you how many people, and still people come up to me in the gym, and that they just are completely mind blown. And I love seeing that because it shows them that their ceiling of potential has just been completely opened up to a whole new world.
And blinders have been taken off.
That's the kind of stuff I love, because you got people like your squats and deadlifts and bench, and then you got Jeff, who weighs like $180 with no arms and a harness, pulling 455.
That was crazy too. Right. Have you ever tried that? Have you ever tried deadlifting with a strap over your back?
I've done it in that exact harness.
Okay, so
before.
when I
it's
was
so hard,
dude.
So hard.
Oh my god! So when I saw him do it, I'm like, that's craziness.
Yeah.
That's so hard. I mean, I didn't have that specific harness, but so I was trying to figure out ways, right, without the strap and without the arm. And there was, I think Spud Inc. had this over-the-shoulder strap that hooked into either end of the barbell, and then it sat on your back, kind of like basically turned it into what is that like a belt squat sort of, but over your shoulders.
Yeah,
and it was so much harder than a deadlift. Yeah. Like having that pressure on your back, like bending collapsing your core already, like that. It was so hard. So not even comparatively the same. And
Oh, I couldn't believe it because the guy who built that strap, he actually built it to be originally to be used with cable machines. You could clip in on the sides and then do like squats and stuff. And then we used it one time a couple years ago for Jeff to deadlift in, and then like busted all the buckles and everything. So he's made multiple versions. Now he's on the V4, which has actually been tested. Like a human has deadlifted 700 pounds with this harness, so we know it can withstand significant amounts of weight.
This is funny because the same thing happened with the Aldridge arm that I got from Equip Products. I had to call them or send them an Instagram, whatever, and I was like, "Hey guys, how much can this hold?" and I was like, and also large is not large enough, so they had to. Well, large only fit like a 45-inch chest, and I had like a 50 plus whatever it is chest, and I was like, "This doesn't work. Well, we'll give you some extra." I'm like, "No. Make me one that's more robust." So they did. Yeah. They made me that strap that I have is custom.
That's awesome.
And I've tested it to 925. Just so you know.
This is on deadlift?
It was a frame pick.
Oh my!
At 925. That hurt, by the way. I don't recommend.
Oh, dude, that had to be so painful.
I picked it up and I took one step and I fell over. And I was like, done.
It held.
It was at unspeakable strength. It was one of Chris Vaccio's crazy inventions.
Oh my god!
The heaviest amateur show in the country, and the frame was like 925 or something for us. We had a Zercher carry of like 900 plus pounds too. I think I budged it also. But
oh my! That's what we were doing today, basically.
Yeah, 900 pounds. 900 pounds on it. Yeah.
Oh my god! It's almost triple what we were doing today.
Yeah, it was triple what we're doing. More than that, actually, probably.
Dude, that's crazy.
But anyway, yeah. It's a crazy story. I don't know. I just things kind of compounded on top of themselves. There was, like I had told you before, I felt like I wasn't going to be a good presser because of my arm length, and now I got the record. I thought I wasn't going to be I thought I wasn't going to be able to do strongman. Now I have the record on the thing I thought I couldn't do, and so, yeah. I mean, it just if you just don't quit, you're going to figure out a way.
Yeah.
But the big thing now, I think, the thing that's most helpful now is just how available the information is, and how available is like all of the assistance equipment too. Yeah. Like you just have like the straps and stuff for specifically upper body. Obviously, we have there's a couple people making like robust chairs, wheelchairs too, that can handle the weight of strongman. So they overweld them and make them with like metal trays and shit, so that and they do the Atlas stone side to side thing. They don't crush their legs. And all kinds of stuff like that. So
did you see the one that Roland had at the Parameet? That thing was built.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
don't know what kind of weight it could have withstood,
but I mean that's what they had. They need that, this all comes. See, this innovation comes from the fact that people just refuse to quit. They want to do it. I want to do this. How can we make this happen? How can we do it safely and all that? So
and that's what we love about the events, like the
safely and strong. Yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah, like the Adaptive Nationals. That's part of what we love about it is it's like. Our hope is that every year we have athletes come out to do things that like we have to basically change the game for because we didn't even know that was possible. We want to be able to like show that to people as much as possible. Just not just for the adaptive athletes to show like what we can be as athletes, but even beyond that to show like all the able-bodied people as well, like what we can be as athletes and what kind of potential they can chase for themselves. Because if we can go out and you've got Arlen post-stroke, you've got you with like one-handed like launching bench presses. We've got people doing. We got Chandler with above knee like
full squat,
sinking like a 265-pound pistol squat. Like
I thought he did 300. Didn't he do 300? He did 3+.
He might have got up there.
I think he did 3+.
Okay.
I think he did 300.
Yeah. By the way, on a bar that he had not lifted on ever. Until
the Mars bar. That was another thing that I thought was really cool about you guys. Is you had the Mars bar. You had pretty much anything anybody needed to do to adapt to them so that they could actually compete. Yeah, that was cool.
That was and that's something we love.
Like
about
who cares? Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why does
we'll find a way.
Okay, I got denied from competing in the USAPL in 2017 or something like that, or 18. I went down to West Virginia. It was in West Virginia. I was at Paul Mauser's Highland something or another competition, and he had this thing where it was like you could compete in the Highland thing. So, it was stones, and it was strongman and Highland games kind of combined. And then the next day you could do the powerlifting meet, and if you did both and you scored high enough, you'd win this huge claymore, right? So, of course, I wanted the sword. I want the sword, right? Yeah. I don't care. I want the sword. I'll die. I want the sword. So I go and I try. I'm like, I want to do the powerlifting meet. Okay. So he's like, all right, let's get you signed up. USAPL tells me I don't qualify because I can't put both hands on the bar. So they missed out on having some crazy adaptive athlete, mentally unstable, try to do strongman and then powerlifting the next day. No. That would have been the first time it ever happened too, by the way. But no, I couldn't put my hand on the bar. And then a year later, they come out with the Adaptive League. Now they have an adaptive group. Or maybe it was a couple years later. I don't know exactly what the timeline was. But I was like, what? Who cares?
That's the kind of stuff
Why
that
do you
we
have to
want
stick up your ass? It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Get that second hand on the bar.
Okay, let me tape it to it.
Exactly.
Are you happy?
Excuse me.
Yeah, like what does that? How does that matter?
What?
I mean, they would have lost their minds on the bench and everything else anyway. But those are. Well, you only got one arm on that too.
You're cheating if you don't put those
Oh, you want the face savers out? No, we can't do that. Clang, clang, clang. Yeah. So I don't know. There's been little bits and stuff that have gone through that I just I was always like, it's disappointing, right? Like I've never carried any like animosity or anything toward them. I don't really care because there was another league I could compete in. I don't care. But it was like just kind of sad because there were opportunities for them to grow, but they didn't want to have it.
It's the same kind of mindset as like you talked about that lady in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Of it's like you're actually limiting
yourself. Yeah, you imagine what USAPL could have had had they seen me do that.
Yeah.
They could have been the premier adaptive league if they wanted to. I mean, okay, it's silly because there's not that many of us, but still.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying. Like that was our goal from day one with this para division. We wanted to do it differently. We wanted to give every athlete the highest potential capability to achieve at their highest level on the platform, and we make it very case by case basis. But we like if somebody needs to use a different bar, we don't care if you're using a different bar. We don't care if you're using harnesses. I mean, people get so in the weeds, particularly on Jeff's videos, when the comments and stuff, they're like, well, how do you determine the exact length of what those straps can be? And we're like,
who cares?
Whatever Jeff feels most comfortable with.
Like who cares?
Are you doing it? We use his height?
I mean,
you're not. He's. That's not. He's. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's just. And then there's the whole other group of people of bringing up and pointing out how much of cheating that is.
Oh yeah,
it's so much easier.
I cheat. Yeah. I use straps.
Yeah.
I cheat every time. I only use half my body when I bench, so I really cheat. It's way less energy output.
Yeah. You're saving so much.
I'm saving so much for deadlift, dude. Like it's not that hard,
Well, bench really is just the break between squat and deadlift.
That's right.
So
exactly.
I mean,
Who cares about that?
Oh my.
Yeah.
But it's just
half
this
the
like,
output I like.
Half the output. Yeah.
It's this like limited mindset, and I think
that tricep.
it's the people who get themselves like married to this idea of limitations, and it's what a business mentor of mine called Alex Hormozy, he would call it poor people behavior, and it's like not just poor finances, but like poor mind,
poor
spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I kind of love that phrase because it's like it kind of allows you to put a twist of humor to it. I would never tell that to somebody directly to their face, but like I can just
they wouldn't understand it anyway.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't. Right
in the back of your head, you can just be like, "Oh, that's poor people behavior." Like that's not us, And it allows you to just kind of like dissociate yourself from that kind of mindset, so that you don't feed into it and get angry about it, because then you're just perpetuating the situation.
Yeah, that's helped me quite a bit too, in letting go of like being worried about changes to events, and I have to adapt anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right? Like, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think strongman makes you a better athlete for most of the strength sports. I think just because of that, you have to be more stable, more, You have to have more endurance. You have to be strong in weird positions. Like, I think that's partly why I haven't been more injured and more, beat up as much. I mean, I'm still beat up, but not as much as I think I would have if I would have just kept with powerlifting.
Yeah, for sure.
So, no, I mean, again, I'm not throwing any shade. Powerlifting is fun. I like it. I think, it's a fun sport to do. I think it's not very visually entertaining unless you do it, right? You don't get it unless you do it.
Oh, for sure.
Most people don't, right? Some people do, but most people don't. If you don't have experience with weight, you don't, and that's the thing, right? Like people, you could say that there's 500 pounds on a bar, and they're like, okay, they don't know.
Yeah.
They've never tried it, so they don't know how hard it actually is. But if you say, we're going to pick up this 500-pound tire and it's a giant tractor tire, and you're like, oh, okay, that looks heavy.
Or
right?
Refrigerators.
Yeah, refrigerators or pulling airplanes or whatever. Like, there's a connection to people, to like standard people who aren't in the sport that understand what that's heavy, right? Like picking up a rock is heavy because everybody on the planet has picked up a rock at some point. Hopefully.
If you haven't, fly to Iceland
now. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Get your tickets. Find out if you're half stecker, full stecker, whatever. Do you get full rations? No?
Yeah.
Okay. I still haven't done that yet. And actually,
that'd be an awesome trip to take.
So in 20-something or another, one of the world's strongest disabled men, we did a max Husafell carry.
Oh, yeah.
With the loadable one. Mm-hmm. And I did 410 or something for like 50 feet, right? So there's this tingle in the back of my brain that I need to go over there and do the Husafell because I should be able to get one lap, and I'd be the first and only adaptive athlete in history, I think, to go around the thing once.
Yeah. To
even pick it up, I think. I don't know if there might be some crazy below the knee amputee guy do it. I'm pretty sure Chad Macklin could do it, or my buddy Mike Bishop.
We'll get them all out there, and we'll just have a good time. We'll make it our own event.
Be,
the people on the plane are going to be like, "What is going on here?"
I like that. That's the kind of crap that I look at. I'm like, what can I do that nobody's ever done before? Which is so weird that some strange dude from Columbus, Ohio, is doing this. Like. Doesn't make any sense to me most of the time. I'm like, I'm not, I never felt like I was any different than anybody else, right? It's like people are like, oh, that's crazy what you do. I'm like, yeah, but you could do it too if you just.
And that's what we try to speak to all the time, and we say it again and again and again on the podcast. Yeah, it's like what we do and everything about our mindset and our message. I mean, that's why we do the podcast, is to show everybody that like everything that we have and everything that we do is 100% accessible and attainable to everyone.
Yeah,
absolutely everyone. Now, certainly some people have genetic potential in some areas and some have genetic potential in other areas.
What does that actually mean percentage wise though?
Yeah,
that's not the greatest portion of the percentage, right? That's when you get into those weeds and you're like, does that give you 5%, 10%, whatever?
Yeah, and that's what we tell everybody is like, no matter who you are, what discipline you choose to take on, you can go do something impossible with it. You can do something that you never dreamed you would be able to step out and do. Like you saw, the Atlas stones on the event, and then you thought, oh, I'll never be able to do that.
Yeah, I can't put 2 arms on that.
Yeah, and then, however many years later, you set a world record, and then you're doing 410 pounds at able-bodied competition standards, and now you're going to go take a Husafell stone and
I want to. That's something I want to try.
We were literally just talking days ago. We were saying we need to get to Iceland next year.
Okay, so there's a guy named Matt Hall. He does wounded, kilted something or another. Broken caber.
Ooh.
Not even close to the same thing. Holy smokes.
Yellowstone.
Wow. Broken caber. And he's wanted to do like a whole run over to Iceland, to Scotland, to do all the manhood stones and all that stuff with a bunch of able-bodied adaptives. And, he was trying to put something together. And I don't know where. I think they died on funding and all that stuff. And I was waiting for that because, I'm like... Because I want to do I could do the Denny's too. I've picked up the weight already.
Okay.
So like...
Yeah.
There we go.
I probably could take a step.
Yeah.
which would be pretty gangster,
Yeah.
you know. So
have you ever done the replicas at
I
the
have not
Rogue?
yet.
Yeah.
No, I've loaded up. I have the pins and the
Okay.
handles, and I've
Yeah.
picked up 7 whatever. it
Dude,
was, 15.
those handles will.
Oh,
like,
it's just pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you were talking about today. It's just like, how much can you suffer? That's the only question.
Do you care about your
Yeah.
fingers?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
No? Okay, you can pick them up, you know.
Great.
It's gonna hurt. You
Yeah.
know, like I think for those I like a ton of chalk. I feel like that's like a glove. Chalk glove or
Well,
something.
because they're like
that.
smooth metal, and
And you gotta hook
your
grip them, and
skin
they
just like
it
starts
just
sweating.
Fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like they're small. The pain is acute. It goes right into your
Joints
right into the
and-
bones
yeah,
and your
yeah.
finger, your phalanges or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're aching, and your thumbnail wants to come off, and you're just like, whatever. I want to be one of the only people in history to pick this up.
Yeah. One of my favorite lifts ever, and I've got several of them, but one of my all-time favorite lifts ever was Chloe Brennan
Lifting that was crazy,
and she was like what 160 or something at the
I don't
time.
know.
Like
It doesn't matter.
Like
It's
but
crazy.
it was just unbelievable. It was like
and it
5
was
times.
it was
body
also
weight.
a second attempt.
Yeah,
like she
yeah,
fails it the
yeah.
first time and then comes back and does it.
and just seeing the sheer like
So she lifted them twice.
yeah, and just seeing the sheer joy and like passion
That was
and just
crazy.
everything.
Well,
that
she
flowed out.
worked her.
Oh
ass
yeah,
off.
absolutely.
unbelievable.
She didn't even use straps, did she?
No,
That was hook
It was
grip, wasn't
just
it?
her hook grip. Yeah,
That
and you
is
can see
right.
it in the video.
That is so bonkers.
Yeah,
She's incredible.
And again, it's just another one of those feats that redefines what potential lays out there for not just that athlete, but like all of humanity in general.
She was at Pfeffer actually, the 2 years ago, I think,
Okay.
or 3 years ago, something like that. And it was really cool to get to meet her and talk to her and stuff. She's a sweetheart of a lady, and she, I don't know, she's one of those. I mean, she's one of those outliers, that just consistent, doesn't want to quit, loves the stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, she had great insights into stuff as well, because she has had to adapt as well, like around whatever her limitations are.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it was pretty cool to see somebody else with a good mindset like that.
Absolutely.
out there. And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So what, like now that you've got the titles, you've got the world records, you've got, you've done amazing, impossible things in competition. Like, what is it that keeps driving you now? What is it that keeps you not quitting?
Mental psychosis. I am crazy.
And how do we get some of that?
What does it? I don't know. I just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I want to. I don't feel like I'm at the end.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I was hoping you would respond that way. I didn't know how you were going to respond, but I
Yeah.
thought maybe you would respond
I just
that way.
don't feel like I'm at the end.
Yeah,
Like I feel like
because-
there's still.
Well, we talk about it all the time. The reason our main slogan is like we talk about face the impossible, be impossible, do the impossible. The main reason our main slogan is be impossible is because that's the process. And like that's what you're in right now. And when you can get to a point where you're pursuing a passion for the sake of the process, like winning swords and winning titles and world records and all these things are like really great achievements and they're like icing on the cake. But when
Add to your armory.
exactly.
Yes.
Prepare for Armageddon.
Yes, prepare for war. I got shields. I got swords. I got hammers.
I mean, it's gonna come down to who has the most
I
claymores.
even have some chainmail.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, does it fit over the beard?
I don't think it'll hurt, actually.
Okay.
It'll probably get stuck in there. I got too much, I got the little ponytail
Yeah,
thing, so I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it'd probably just be more,
That's just
it'd
like
be
how much
pain
can you
in the
suffer?
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be, right.
It just adds
hurts.
to it.
I will take this pain out on you and you.
Yep.
But yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. Like there are things that I still want. I have like ideas. I have like these little things like I could probably do that. Like stupid. Like, well, okay. So when I was when I squat, so I ended up actually squatting 750. That was the best I did in gear.
Okay.
And that was like 2013. It was at
Is that
the
single ply, multiply?
XPC, multiply, XPC, Arnold, Arnold Comp, XPC at the Vets Memorial before they tore it down, rebuilt it.
Okay.
And that one I had Brandon Lilly behind me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was he was one of the guys that was at the doghouse while I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. Chuck Vogelpohl was the
Oh,
other one.
yeah.
Chuck Vogelpohl actually spent
So did you train
time,
with Chuck?
He spent time teaching me how to deadlift one-handed.
Really?
Yes. Everybody, I mean, you know, everybody's got crazy personalities right there.
Yeah.
And like they were just, but I don't know, man. Some of them were just, they wanted to help.
Yeah.
Never would have thought that from Chuck too. Like he just seemed like this, you know, impossible monster of a man. You know, just, you don't want to talk. He just looked like he would kill you, chew off your face. You know, they did. That's what he looked like. You know, but no, he came up. He's like, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you turn your foot out a little? And I did. It got my hip out of the way when I was deadlifting one-handed in a sumo stance.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. Thanks, Chuck. You know? And I was only like literally, I was deadlifting like 375 pounds.
Yeah. But
You know,
still,
it
like
was
one-handed.
crap, you know. What I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so 2013, I think it was, Vets Memorial. Brandon Lilly's behind me, and he says, let's get this done. I got you. And I was like, let's fucking go, you know. And so, because I had I think the 750 squat, I got under it and I hadn't got set right, so I fell forward and I had to reset, and my feet fell asleep. So I was basically squatting on my ankles. It was the weirdest sensation, you know, because I was wearing knee wraps, so like my feet are gone.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like ankle. I felt like I was a Captain Hook or some shit with two peg legs.
Just real feet problems.
Probably what you feel on a daily basis, right? Anyway, so my feet are asleep, and I go and I go down and come back up, and 750. And guess what? I cleared the second flight of the heaviest squats that day.
There you go.
I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So that one actually was pretty cool to me, because that was the last time I squatted in gear. So, but anyway, when I was doing that, I think my max raw was about probably under 400 pounds, like 400 pounds. So I was getting 350 out of gear. 750, I was getting 350. So if I'm squatting, I didn't really push.
Now.
I'm probably squatting close to 700ish now. Like if
So
I
you
really
can squat
if I really
1,000 in gear.
This is what we're talking about.
I knew 100% where you're going.
This is what we're talking about right now. Like who wouldn't want to see
Four digits, man.
Who would want to see when you want? I mean,
you just say the word,
right?
We will have a multiply para division next.
Well, so
I'll jump in it with you.
I need a crew, right? So I need to find somebody to latch on to do that, and it would take probably a couple years to get back into that pressure, but.
It'd be freaking cool.
I don't know. Like, I think that's something that is not too out of the realm.
Yeah.
Like, I think I could probably do that.
Oh, 100%.
So
that would be insane.
Insane. One-handed, right?
Yeah. Just to like let that weight sit on your back. Like,
I've picked up 925.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've picked up some pretty heavy stuff already. You know. So I know somewhat of that pressure, but I don't know. I just that's a little. That's a tickle in the back there of like, you know, is this something to go for? And then, you know, I don't know. I feel like part of my responsibility too is to continue to compete, because there are not very many adaptive athletes, disabled athletes, para athletes, whatever the hell you want to call us, and there's even less, you know, upper extremity athletes that do any strength sports, right? There's hardly any of us. So I want to continue to compete as long as I can to, you know, at least, you know, show that it's still there. It's still an option, right? You don't have to just do CrossFit or nothing or whatever it is, you know. Yeah. You can choose the dark side.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always...
The best side.
Yeah, that's what I've always said too, because
Darth Vader.
There's
side.
so many...
And it's way better.
You start breathing into the microphone.
Nobody likes Jedis. Come on.
Yeah, that's no fun.
You're out of your mind.
There's no fun on that side.
Come on. Who doesn't want to shoot lightning out of their fingers?
Exactly.
I want that.
I mean,
I was thinking about this one time too, because this is just, I'm crazy, and I didn't like to be off topic. If I was in the Star Wars world, for sure, I would be corrupted instantaneously. I would be around. I'd just be shooting lightning. I'd be spinning, shooting lightning out of my fingers. That's what I'd be doing.
This is my life now.
Yeah, it makes
Eyeballs
sense.
would be flaming red, and just
how cool would that look?
Seething everywhere,
Yeah.
Dude, the whole thing where Darth Maul gets stuck in the thing and he's back and forth seething. That's what you do when you powerlift.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get the squat. Just back and forth.
How cool would that look on the platform? Like you come out of the hole and your eyes just
are
catch on
burning.
fire.
And then you shoot lightning out of your fingers when you bench.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah.
No,
Never liked the Jedi. I was like, you guys
I
are
think
too soft.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Keep your green lightsabers.
They don't.
I want
squat.
Red, yeah.
Red.
Yeah, they don't even squat. I mean, it's like, yeah, you don't want to get involved in something like that. But I don't even remember where we were.
Well,
before.
you're like, what am I? But that's really my
Yeah, I get
like, what am I doing with this?
Yeah.
Like, how am I going? Really, I just want to continue to compete so that there's, representation, right? Nothing
And
changes
exposure,
without
so.
representation, right?
Yeah, because there are like
that was political. No, but
but
for real
it's-
though, like
it's true.
If I'm not there, who else is there?
Yeah, and there's so many opportunities in comparison in the world of like endurance sports, speed sports, like a lot of the track and field that you see in the Paralympics. Like
right, yeah.
there's so much in that world. But it's like, and yes, technically there's like Paralympic powerlifting, but it's this like
It's benching for people
bench
that
only.
Yeah, it's
and
bench only.
Very limited to very specific athletes, and not only that, it's.
I don't want to throw
incredibly-
stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Yeah, so it's.
I don't want to shot put. I want to do strongman.
Yeah. And so anytime we can open up opportunity for the world of strength sport, for adaptive athletes in the world of strength sports is and not only that, but just show people.
You know why I don't want to shot put? Because I suck at it.
I mean, yeah.
No, I have no elbow mobility, so I can't get it under my chin.
Yeah.
And the
So
beer
if you
gets
just
in the way.
transferred some of that, just pretend it's
You would think that it would transfer, but it really doesn't.
Really?
No. No,
Yeah.
I you know what it is. I don't practice.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
I practiced
if
it,
you
I'm
really
sure.
wanted to, but
I would, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's even that is more of. I don't even like see that, even though it requires a lot of strength and agility. I don't even see that necessarily as like a strength sport in my mind.
Okay, so let's talk about
Traditionally.
that. Didn't Mr. Hooper have a video about the strongest people on the planet, and one of them was Jeff Kovacs, the shot
was it
putter?
really? Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like apparently considering what he can do, like. He was in the running for like one of the
Outside.
strongest humans. Well, yeah, he threw like, what did he throw? Like 80 meters?
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah.
Something. No, I don't know if it's that. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's something crazy. And then he broke a record by like a half a foot or something, which is like a bazillion % in throwing. Right? Normally they make like centimeter changes, right? And he just Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
he's
know.
just
You better hold your
massive
thing. You don't
too.
know. It's all
Yeah.
right.
Well, yeah, and it's not to say they're not strong.
No,
like
I
I'm
know.
sure they're incredibly strong.
Can
but
they
it's-
deadlift 500 kilos though?
Yeah, that
I
would
don't
be a
know.
good question. That'd be a good question.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I want to see more opportunities because I think strength sports has, well, so many sports can, but I think especially like strength sports, and I know how it's impacted me in my journey, and I think it just has the power to change people's lives in regard to how they see their own ability, what they think, what they believe their limitations to be. You know, because it's just so easy. Like when you get a disability, it's so easy to listen to the quote unquote professionals who will tell you can't do this.
So
You know.
I got told I was never going to be an athlete again.
Yeah.
I got told, oh, this is how my brain works. All right. So I had gone through, I was at the Mayo Clinic so I've had a transplant surgery as well.
Okay.
They took my gracilis out of my left leg and they put it in my right arm and innervated it with intercostal nerves so that I could like bend my arm.
Okay.
But that's not arm muscle. That's rib nerves and leg
That's
muscle.
wild.
So, I'm Frankenstein also. Frankenstein. And so why was I saying that? Oh yeah. So I'm at the Mayo Clinic and they showed me a video of a dude tying his shoes one-handed, right? And it takes him like a minute and 20 seconds. And I was like, the first thing I said was, I'll beat that. And I ended up doing it in like 40 seconds.
There you go.
And I was
There
like,
you go.
See?
That's a way to be, man.
And I was like, you videoed the wrong person.
Show the world.
But
this.
but that's the thing. They were like, you know, I don't know. They were. It's the weird thing about I think disability in general. It's like just this. It's like, yeah, it's a crappy thing to happen, but there's like this weird like sadness.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're never going to be worth anything anymore. You know, like these people are just like, they have these weird attitudes, like the medical community did back then about all that stuff. You know, it was weird.
Yeah, and
it's like they're more fix-it people, not like, oh, there's no fixing it, so you're just fucked.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, the thing that I can never understand too is you just get these people severely limiting you out the gate. Yeah. These like quote unquote professionals
ideas,
without ever even like testing it at any level. And I don't know if that's just to be safe or cautious or what. But then you get like ODNR recently put up a post, and it's a cool thing to
Matthew,
exist.
that is an acronym.
Oh. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources.
Thank you.
So
nobody likes acronyms, Matthew.
I mean, yeah. I feel like most people in Ohio, you know, well, I guess we do have a lot of West Virginia listeners, don't we?
Yeah. I was lost for a second.
Regardless, the outdoorsy people in Ohio put up a post that they were talking about it. There's some lake in Ohio that just put in a handicap accessible beach, which is like, it's a cool thing, and it's accessible by like wheelchairs, prosthetics, all kinds of things. But like, it was just this really like touchy-feely, feel-good post of just like, look how special this is that all these people can go have fun at the beach
details.
now.
Hold on. I need details. How the hell do you get a wheelchair down the sand?
Well, they've got a special a couple of them, these like special fat tire wheelchairs. Yeah, that you can.
I was going to say like tank treads.
And they're even like lifted so they can go into the water for a little bit. So it's a cool resource to have.
It's not an accessible beach. They have the equipment to make the beach accessible.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And I do think they've gone in and, you know, changed the landscaping a little bit to make it a little easy. Like there's not as much as an incline or drop off. Yeah.
ADA compliant?
Yeah.
What's ADA?
Is anything really ADA compliant? You know?
Dude, all doors open to the right. You know how annoying that is?
Just
what
sounds
is
like
wrong
a really
with you
good
people?
It's a really good pool workout.
God.
And then you
pull
press
it this way. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, like you have to pull it the weird way.
Well, then you press the handicap button. It never works. Ever.
Dude.
They never, ever,
I'm like,
ever
beep,
work.
Beep, beep. I'm carrying shit. Open the door.
Yeah. Well, that's when they always don't work.
Yeah, when you're carrying shit.
Yeah. The times they do work is like the one time you actually want to physically open the door, and then it tries to open itself for you, and then you have to like trip around it. Yeah.
You know? We need AI for that. Really.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously. But you guys try it next time you walk, whether you're disabled or not. Next time you see one of those handicap buttons, try to press it. It won't work.
Yeah, and then everybody will think you're an asshole for pressing the button, and you don't actually need it. I don't know. I don't know if you should listen to him. Yeah, and you know the other thing too. There's two doors, right? Like you're going into a business with two doors. Mm-hmm. Somebody is coming out the right door. Okay, everybody waits. Just open the other door and go by them on that side.
No.
Is that rude?
I don't think so.
No. There's two doors, right?
Yeah. It's there for a reason.
I've always been confused about that here. I don't really. Why don't we use both doors? It happens a lot at Cracker Barrel.
Oh,
Everybody's really nice there. You know, it's like, let me hold the door for you.
Yeah.
But then there's another door, and usually they have like that separation in the middle too. So like both doors, you know, it's not like two doors that are kind of awkwardly close, and then you're like rubbing shoulders trying to get in and out, right? Like pushing past each other.
You're gonna break, Austin.
Anyway,
these are the problems.
These are real problems. These are real problems.
Yeah.
Stop opening doors to the right. That annoys the shit out of me. Really. Also, when you go to the restaurant, they always put the water on the right side.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So I got to move all my shit to the left. And then what the problem is, then it's real close to everybody else's shit on their right side. Yeah. So then you don't know whose shit is shit, you know, whose shit is whose.
Yeah.
You're like, I grabbed that water, that's my, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, the world is made for right-handed people.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm left-handed.
Rude.
Even though I do still have a right hand, so I'm left-handed. But
I mean, I still have a right hand too, but
yeah,
it's just not function. Well, it doesn't function. It's like a 5% functional.
Yeah. Is there like any capacity like you use it for in day-to-day life?
Yeah, I can pin stuff. Like, you want a little demo?
Yeah.
So I can.
That's why you guys need to watch the YouTube.
Pin stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Watch the YouTube. You get to see me do tricks. Yeah, I can pin stuff. It's actually way more helpful than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
You know, at first I thought it was a waste of money.
Well, because I asked because I
do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard some people say like they just felt like it was easier
in the way to cut it off. Yeah, I've been told that a lot.
Okay.
A lot of my friends have been like that are in similar situations and told me to get rid of it, and I was like, why? I use it. I can hold stuff. I can, like, I watched a couple other athletes when I was competing back in the day that were amputees struggle to get their belts on.
Yeah.
And I can fling it around me and then pin it on me with my right arm and then get the buckle.
Yeah. So even if it's like 5%
really
function, it's worth having.
Yeah, but it's still in the way. If I sleep on my right side, I basically choke myself. It's like rear naked choke while I sleep by myself. But it's my own arm. But though I can't feel it, it feels like somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, it's like auto asphyxiation or something.
Really weird. Yeah. Feels. Yeah, it's weird.
We're gonna
It's
break
slow.
it.
It's slow suffocation. Auto asphyxiation. Yes. Yeah. I do that by accident. I wake up and I'm like,
It's not even intentional.
yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
Jesus.
Yeah, sometimes the rope gets me. I always thought, so as I was going through this, I was like, I guess I got some experience with like some older people that were grumpy and unhappy, and some older people that were funny and vibrant and stuff like that. And it kind of stuck with me. It was like, if you can just, maintain some of your youthful, joyful playfulness and maybe your sense of humor and stuff, you just won't end up that crotchety old, angry, sour, upset person. Like, I don't know. It always seemed strange to me that you would end up that way. I was like, there's too much. Humor is wonderful.
Yeah,
it is so good.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's miserable, that existence.
Yeah, it's just.
Especially when you can guilt trip people with it. Like at work all the time. Oh dude, it's great.
I love that. That's my favorite shit. They'll come up to me and they'll give me something I'm like, I can't hold that.
Like whole pizza box or something.
I'm like, where do you want me to do with this? I'm like holding something else. Oh, yeah, I can't take that from you. Sorry.
Oh, I love it at work.
Yeah.
Some of these girls I work with, they'll walk by me and accidentally kick my prosthetic or something. And I'll be like, oh, you like to kick handicap people, don't you?
Yeah. So okay.
And they love it. They love it. They act like they don't, but they really love it internally.
So this is I have no filter sometimes. So like I'm sitting at work, right? We have these we profit share at my job.
Okay.
And we do this cheer, right?
Yeah.
It's a little culty. Not gonna lie, a little culty, but we do this cheer. It's for a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good, good cause. Anyway, so my president is standing up in front. We're a 25, or we used to be. Maybe we're like 2,300 people.
Okay.
Pretty decently sized company.
Yeah.
We're almost $750 million. Pretty big company.
Yeah.
And at least we used to be. I don't know. Maybe we're less than that now. $500 million. Anyway, a lot. Pretty big sized. So the president's up there, right? And he's like, I've been at this company for 11 years or whatever. He knows me. This guy sent me to the first World's Strongest Disabled Man back in 2018.
Dude, that's awesome.
The business I work for, they sponsored me and sent me over there. They paid for my flights and stuff. It was awesome. Anyway, and it was him that signed off on it.
Okay.
Same guy. Well, so he's up there and he's like, so this is how we do the cheer. You take your right arm, and then I'm like, he goes, everybody takes their right arm, and I go, not everybody. And he looks at me and he's like,
right in the middle of this big.
and he goes, okay, so just take an arm. And this is how you do the chair.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That just kind of came out of me. Right when we're doing this thing, it's supposed to, shouldn't really, but stuff like that, it's one.
Well, I think it circles back to the whole idea of like people treat you how you treat or how you allow them to.
Sure.
And it's, for me with like people at work or people I know or people at the gym or anything, like once I break down that barrier and I make the one leg at the handicap kicks, whatever it is, then immediately they don't have to, like, they no longer
anymore.
Yeah, they don't have to treat it as this like taboo
this
thing.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
it's just
the
like
whole existence.
Because now they'll crack as many jokes, worse ones.
My
than
friends
I'll crack.
at work call me Jimmy No Clap. So, yeah, it's cool.
Oh dude. Isn't it crazy how sick and twisted people's minds can be?
I love it. It's so good. It makes everything better for me though. Like it's so good.
Yeah. People get creative with it, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. I love it. So, dude, I appreciate you coming on today and having this discussion. It's been awesome to have this insight. I think we covered a lot of good stuff. We at least highlighted the importance of humor. No, it was a lot of good discussions, a lot of good topics we came to. The last thing I wanted to touch on before we close, though, we kind of chatted a little bit about it in the gym. You're at this point now where, like I say, you've done so many things in the sport, and you kind of talked about how you're riding this line of like, I love this thing. Like, you love this passion that you're chasing right now, and you're like, I don't really want to turn it into like my job though, because for the fear of, and what can happen is it can pull a lot of the joy out of it, and it can be a really tough line to ride, because on one hand you want to be able to dedicate as much time and energy as possible to it, and having it as a career allows you to do that, but on the other hand you want to also be able to maintain as much of that joy and not have it feel like a chore, because sometimes you can lose the joy in that. So what's that process, coming to that kind of crossroads? What's that been like, and how are you kind of balancing that at this moment?
I guess I would say I do. If the price is right, I do. To me, the more important things are to set an example, really. So for someone like me who's just brand new, got something happened to them, whatever, or maybe they born that way, whatever it is, to come across something and just be like, look at all this stuff that we could do, like I could do, I'll reach out.
Yeah,
that's one of my big things, right? Like I'm available. So if somebody is on the fence or online or whatever and wants to has questions or anything, hit me up on Instagram. I'll answer all those questions directly to people. So I'm thinking that being said, maybe I've always had this fantasy of having somebody, having the money to bring a bunch of adaptive athletes together for a couple weeks of just training together. Not competing, but hanging out and training and stuff, because you don't know how much you could learn from another adaptive athlete.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. I think one of the things that's super interesting is when you've had to adapt for however many years you've had to, ideas just come so fast. Mm-hmm. To whatever the problem is. It's weirdly fast, right? I can't do this this way. Okay, we'll put this, and this here. And it just happens, and then the other thing is, I think a lot of people are nervous about offering advice or anything to an adaptive athlete when they're not, because it's I don't know what it's like to do it that way. Yeah, but you can still see stuff that I can't see, and having input is hugely helpful. So turning it into something else going forward, I at some point I will be running an event sometime when I'm down the road that will have prize money. for adaptive athletes. That is one thing that I will do eventually. And yeah, I mean, if the situation presented itself that I could do something more with it, like, you know, meeting with other adaptive athletes. I thought about, you know, talking to veterans too, because I'm a veteran. So, I mean, I'm not a disabled or a what is that, combat disabled veteran or a service related. I mean, I was, you know, the accident was after I had already gotten out. So, but the mindset's still there, and I can kind of connect and understand what people, you know, I mean, not so much anymore because we're not really as prevalent in the same kind of situation we were back then, but I thought about doing that kind of thing with it. Yeah, I mean, I still want to I want to try to get overseas and do some stuff. Like, it would be fun to have adaptive athletes together to do that. So, I mean, there is, you know, the potential to do quite a bit more with it. And it wouldn't be a job then. It would be something I still wanted to do. And obviously I'd still be training. So I think that's where I would end up going with it if I could. Yeah. But I also like my lifestyle. And I have a good, decent job. And so that allows me to have the stuff that I want.
Yeah, I like that perspective on it a lot too, because you've isolated the parts of it that are particularly the most meaningful, the most impactful for you, and the ways that you want to have the most impact on the sport. And
I want to
for
influence other
athletes as well.
adaptive athletes to try.
Yeah, and I love those ideas you bring up.
Just anybody who is not even an adaptive athlete yet, I want to influence them to try.
Yeah.
Just try.
Yeah, just see where you can go.
Yeah.
If you got slight interest in it, yeah, maybe it's not for you, but you won't know unless you give it a go.
Try.
You know, and I think in most cases, if somebody, at least everybody I brought to the gym that, you know, is maybe an adaptive or disabled person, they've not ever trained before anything. The second they start, like, they walk in thinking they can't do anything, and maybe you get them under a high box squat or something like that, and they move like the bar or something, and all of a sudden they're just like locked. It's one of the coolest things to ever experience.
I got to go to Sacramento to meet with Nathan Miller, and I think that's his last name. I hope I got that right. And he's an adaptive athlete who's in strongman, and he's made tons of progress. I think he's a stroke survivor. Pretty sure he's got the less function on one half. And initially he was telling me that he couldn't squat because he couldn't balance the bar. So I was like, you know what? No way. And I was going to visit my family anyway in Southern California, so I was like, I'm going to stop there. And we ended up surprising him on his birthday or something. I think it was his birthday, because one of his friends I had met at Pfeffer was this weird connection to him. And so anyway, ended up over there, spent 2 days with him on the weekend, and he was already squatting 135 with the bar, with a regular bar.
There you go.
So, and to depth, and I think he's, God, I don't remember what it. I think he's getting closer to 300 pounds now.
There we go.
So he's like in the mid twos, I think now.
Yeah.
On 1.5 legs or 1.5, whatever it is, what his function he's got on the other one. So yeah, I mean that's to me the most important thing is to support, to even if you don't have the same disability, you can still influence the person to or you can provide the adaptation or whatever the thing is. You can still see it, and help them get it done.
Yeah.
And then they're, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then it just goes.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah.
A new adaptive athlete.
And to see the brightening in the eyes.
Well, not new, but he's, oh man.
Yeah.
See him succeed at that is massively awesome to me.
That is one of the best things. Just see that, like, you can literally see it in people's eyes, that whole new world of potential just opening up, and then you're like, yeah, you're on the path now.
He's the one that's on the roster for America's Strongest Disabled Man now.
Oh, really? Heck yeah.
Yeah, I hope he's able to make it, actually.
Yeah. It's cool because, he probably would have never made it to that point without you coming out.
I mean,
you know?
he was doing well. I mean, we also run over the dumbbell too. And, sandbags.
Yeah.
What else did we look at? We looked at we figured out how to do a single finger together, one-handed. That's where
that?
It's like a telephone pole that you pick up and you flip over.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. One-handed, my God.
Yeah, I think we ended up on like a 300-pounder.
Jeez.
You just hop it.
Yeah.
You know, you one-handed, you just kind of hop it
Yeah.
down.
Hop
It over. Yeah.
He might drop it on you, but it's fine.
No, you move out of the way, Matthew.
Well, maybe if you
move it
got
out-
two legs,
don't
you can
dump
do
it
that.
on your head.
Yeah, let's not do that.
You
again.
move out of the way.
I kind of let it slowly roll down my head.
I thought you were going to stop it there and then try again from the top of your head.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
I should have done that.
You quitter.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for being here again. We really
Thanks, man.
appreciate it. It was a great discussion. And best of luck with
Thank you.
everything going this weekend, going into America's Strongest Disabled, man.
Just need
and
to stay healthy. That's
yeah,
what I need to do.
Yeah. And what's the comp coming up in November is a world
OSG.
level.
Yeah, that's OSG. It's going to be Magnus's World Championship. It's basically World's Strongest Disabled Man. And
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
if somebody else owns the whatever.
Title to that or whatever.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And what date is that?
That is. I don't have a great memory, but I have a thing that remembers for me.
Hey, that's all you need.
Okay, that is going to be like the 20th, I think, of November.
Okay. It's towards the end
I
of
think it's
November.
the Thursday that we compete.
Okay.
Nice.
So we'll be watching out for that. You guys,
There'll be a live stream, I think, on the OSG's
yeah,
website.
yeah, we'll
so-
try to post that on some of our socials and stuff too, so you guys can. Because anybody who was at that meet, the Parent Adaptive Nationals meet that we had with USPC here at Monsters, which a lot of you guys listening were at that meet, and as we've talked about several times since then, like the energy that comes to a room when something truly impossible is happening is a unique experience that you can't even put words to describe. You just have to be there to feel it. And that's what all of those adaptive athletes brought that day. And it's particularly what James helped emphasize for us. And so, you know, he was even stepping outside of his traditional sport and still brought that feeling and that energy to that space. So to see him compete on, you know, the platform that he knows in the sport that he loves and is passionate about, it's going to be something special to witness. And you're going to get that 8th title. Do you have a world title yet?
3?
3 world titles. So
I think
yeah,
I have 3,
Yeah.
2 or 3, something like that.
yeah.
think-
So he'll be chasing another one of those
Yeah, 2 or 3.
in November. So you guys
think
definitely
I
have
have
to, definitely have to check out and watch that. But James, you got anything else today? Anything you want to promote, chat about?
Well,
Anything?
thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Had a
Absolutely.
good time.
Absolutely. You have Cerberus as a sponsor, correct?
I do, yeah. Cerberus.
yeah.
So you can use my one-arm power code on my Instagram. It's the number 1, not O-N-E.
Yeah.
Arm power. Yeah, that's the same 10% off code, so you can use that.
Cool. Get you guys some discounts on some really
links
quality
and stuff
gear.
on my Instagram page to it and all that.
Yeah.
It's
And
good stuff.
is that the best place for people to follow you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I do the most of my stuff.
Perfect.
posting.
We'll put all those links in the show notes. So if you guys want to go on and follow more James' journey and see some of the just freaking crazy lifts that he's doing on nearly a daily basis, you can check those out there. And if you want even more of a behind the scenes look to some of our training this morning with James, some of the ways that he broke my soul and removed it from my body in the best of ways. I liked it. I did.
Very much.
I'm gonna convert you.
I had
The dark side, baby.
I had a lot of. Do you really get the lightning?
Oh, dude. Come and find out.
It's the greatest sales pitch ever.
See it at Worlds.
Finger lightning. Come on.
What more do you need?
Oh my God, it'd be the greatest thing.
Yeah. But yeah, guys. So if you want some of those behind the scenes looks, some of our behind the scenes chats, and early access to episodes just like this, you guys can jump on our school platform. That's our online community where we have built a specific platform for everybody involved with Impossible Performance and everybody dedicated to this mindset and mission to be able to interact and grow and learn with each other all at the same time. We have courses we're building on there. We have group meetups, all kinds of great resources on there. The link for that is in the show notes. You guys can jump on there, get more behind the scenes action, and get involved in the discussion with the podcast. And as always, the number one and only thing we ask for you guys on this platform, because we don't run any paid ads, we don't take time out of the conversation, we don't do weird cuts right in the middle of the deepest parts of the episode to talk about some product that nobody cares about. The only thing we ask is that you guys, if this message, if this conversation was impactful for you and you got something out of this, which we absolutely know you did, we ask that you please share it with as many people as you know who you think it would equally impact, because that is how we move forward with our mission at Impossible Performance, and it's how we ultimately realize our vision. Because at Impossible Performance, we are striving to build a global culture of strength, fostering a spirit of growth in constant pursuit of the impossible. Thank you for listening, and as always, be impossible.